Hey y'all. Hey y'all, it's me, True Brilliance. I wasn't sure if the video was on or not. But anyways, welcome back to my channel. As promised, I am doing the childhood regression, finding your core frequency video today. And I'm really excited about this video because yes, this is what it is all about. Life in general, period. I want you guys to really understand this is just about finding yourself again. That's all it is about, because the self, that is where your true deepest joy lies. That is where the key and the answer to everything that you've been looking for lies. It lies within the self. And people hear people say that all the time, and it just goes in one ear and out the other. Yeah, I know my happiness lies within. I know I'm the key to my own happiness. But they don't really understand what that concept means. That means that the greatest joy that you will ever have, the most fulfillment that you will ever achieve, is going to be found when you truly find and know yourself. That is the only time that you are ever going to feel fulfilled. There's nothing more better than knowing who you are, living who you are, and just feeling at one with your vibration and living out your vibration. Because that's really what we're all trying to find here, people. We're trying to find our vibration again. You may think that you're trying to find a lover. You may think you need a house. You may think you need cars. You may think you need riches. You may think you need all of these things. But no, what you're looking for is your vibration, the vibration of who you truly are, whatever that may be. If your core vibration is a person that's rich and wealthy and famous, then yeah, then you need to find that. But it's not in the exterior that you're going to be finding it. It's not in the material world that you're going to be finding it. You have to find it within yourself and then be that. And then whatever you are is naturally going to be attracted to you. But it's not going to be attracted to you until you find who you are and you live that vibration within yourself. You're looking for yourself, people. That's who you're looking for. You're not looking for all of these things outside of you that you think that you're trying to find so bad and that something's eluding you. That's why that treasure chest saying is so true when they were talking about the poor man that was sitting on a box and he was asking for money, a beggar, begging strangers on the street for money. And a stranger walks by and says, "Why don't you look under that box that you're sitting on?" And the old man turns the box around and it's a beautiful treasure full of gold that he was sitting on the whole entire time and thinking that he was poor, thinking that he had to ask for money when all he had to do was look up under that box. All he had to do was look within. And I'm starting that out because when I talk about your childhood, understand that when you were born, that was the closest to your true self that you ever were in your entire life. And the reason why that was the closest to your true self is because you were pure when you were little. You were pure. You were 100% yourself. You didn't have any restrictions on you. You didn't have people telling you not to be who you are. You didn't have people telling you who you are and telling you that you needed to be this way or that this was bad and that this was good and that you need to behave like this and you need to do that. You didn't have all those social constructs in your mind yet. So you were 100% you, and you did what you did naturally, because when we're kids, we're living in our natural being. We're not thinking. Our thinking mind isn't even really activated as a child. We're living strictly off of being as a child. So we're doing stuff naturally, and we're not even processing or analyzing what we're doing. We're not judging what we're doing. We're just doing what comes natural to us. We're doing what feels good to us. So when I say go back to your childhood or remember the things that you did as a child, what did you like to do? What were some of the hobbies that you did in your free time? Did you like to paint? Did you like to draw? Did you like to go ride bikes off into the sunset? Did you like to climb trees? Did you like to just sit out in nature and pick flowers like I used to do as a child? Did you like to swim in the ocean? What were the things that you did as a child that brought you joy? Remember what those things were. For me, as a child, I spent 80% of my time out in nature. I was always out in nature. I loved being outside. And I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. So I grew up around a lot of greenery. There's just a lot of beautiful nature here. I grew up surrounded by water. And there was just tons of beautiful trees, bushes, flowers everywhere. And I would just go off into the woods, like go on little hiking expeditions, go on treasure hunts, use my imagination. I would pick flowers and make flower crowns. I would blow dandelions. I would just, I loved being out in nature. And there's something about nature. Like, I was really thinking about this the other day, and I was like, I would feel so safe and comforted when I was out in nature. I really look at nature as being a second mother to me because there was just this presence. I felt safe. I felt comfortable. It was alive. Nature is a living being. And I felt that energy. I was very close with that energy. And I think I wanted to be around that energy all the time. That's why I was always outside. I used to be outside past dark, and my mom used to scream at me when I used to come home. But I did all kinds of stuff. I used to climb trees. I loved climbing trees. What else did I do? I used to ride bikes all day long. I used to love rollerblading. That was super fun to me. I loved animals. I loved pets. And I looked back at my 20s or my adult life, and I didn't do any of those things anymore. None of it. It was all about going out and turning up and clubbing, which those things aren't natural to us. Those aren't the things that really bring us joy. So now that I'm in my 30s, I'm starting to do those things more. Like, I've been going skating, and I've been having the time of my life going skating, taking my daughter skating. And it brought back like this inner child vibe in me. I'm like, wow, this is really fun. I haven't had fun like this in so long. And, I've just been going to the beach and taking walks in nature. And, I've been talking about I'm going to buy a bicycle, and I'm going to start riding my bike everywhere because I used to love to ride bikes as a kid. What did you like to do? If you were a little boy who loved to play basketball all day long, go out and go hit the park and go start playing basketball. You know what I mean? If you were a person that loved to swim in the ocean, go out and go swim in the ocean. Do those things that brought you joy as a little kid. You have to do those things because what that does is it ignites your inner spark, the spark of life again. Because you have to live, you have to feel alive. And those activities help us to feel alive again. They make us feel invigorated. You know what I mean? Your life just isn't about waking up, going to work, getting off work, coming home, watching TV, having a beer, going to sleep, doing the same shit over again the next day. That's not life, people. That's not living. You got to do the things that makes you happy. You have to have a hobby, something creative that you're doing with your creative energy, because that's all we did as children was create. Is that not what we were doing all the time? Whether we were creating it in our minds, our imaginations, make believe, which really make believe was just creation with the subconscious mind. Because I'm going to tell you guys a story about me. When I was in second grade, I started a females group, and it was called like TWA or something like that. I was the president of it. And I had this all girls club, and we used to have meetings every week, and I would call the meetings, and we would talk about the things that we would do for our class and this and this and that, and I loved it. And I kept it going for a while too. I even had like a little treasurer who would keep the money and all these things about the things that we would do and spend our money toward charity and all these other things. And the grown up adult version of that is my company, Queensandthrones. A dream, something that I did naturally as a little girl, is actually something that I am doing as an adult now. You got to let your dreams from your childhood survive into your adulthood. You got to get back in touch with what you naturally are good at, what you naturally love to do. Because a lot of people are sitting up here as grown adults, and they're like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. What is it that you naturally are good at? What is it that you did naturally before somebody told you what you needed to do? What were you into? I'm even re-sparking and resurrecting in my life the love and fascination with animals. I've been reading up on bee colonies, ant colonies, and like just learning about plant life and different flowers and different animals. And it's fascinating to me. I'm like really into this shit now. I'm like on the verge of almost wanting to become like one of those people that studies animals and like really makes a career out of it because it's so fascinating to find out about it. And also studying animals and things like that kind of helps you understand like humans as well, because there's a lot of connection between those two, believe it or not. So I've been getting into that, and I've always been really into biology as well. I'm like fascinated by like chromosomes and all of that stuff. I'm really into that. So I've just been, bringing back all of these different interests that I had as a child that I let go of after I turned 18 because it wasn't cool to be into animals. It wasn't cool to climb trees. It's not cool to rollerblade. It's not cool to do any of the natural things that we do when we first come to this earth. Why is it not cool? It's not cool to be in touch with your true self. You know, we got to take these restrictions off of us. But yeah, also when you remember if you can even remember back to when you were younger and your vibration, your personality that you had as a kid, like how did you feel as a kid on the day to day? Weren't you happy to get up every day? Weren't you happy to go try something new? There's a sense of wonder when you were a child to like everything was new and everything was exciting and everything was fun. We were amped up just to go try anything new. And we were always trying new things as well as children. We don't do those things anymore. We don't go and challenge ourselves and try to go rock climbing or, just try to go do something crazy. Do something you've never done before. Stop having the same existence day in and day out. Go experience. Go swim with the dolphins. Go, discover. Do those things. You know what I mean? Now I have so many things that I want to do. Like, I really want to experience the world, the globe, to the absolute fullest. I want to travel to every country. I want to see every culture. I want to taste every food. I want to be a kid again, like just a kid again, as in like a novice to the world, like just living in wonder. And this video really ties into the firehouses videos because what the fire signs in general and the firehouses represent is they represent that spark of life. That's why they are the fire signs. That's why they try anything. That's why their main goal and objective in life is experience, and is to experience everything that they possibly can. And they're not afraid to experience things. They have courage. You know what I mean? They're into adventure. And what that energy does, what the fire energy is, period, is it's like the animating energy. It's the energy that opens you up to new possibilities. It's the energy that makes you feel passionate, that makes you feel alive, that makes you feel happy to be alive, that makes you look forward to the next day, look forward to the next thing. And a lot of us as adults, we have lost that. We have lost that spark of life, and we have to get that back again. We have to become as little children, just like it says in the Bible. And a lot of people think that the Bible's bullshit. No, the Bible was dropping mad jewels in that joint. It's just in the way that you interpret it. You know what I mean? A lot of people just throw it out the window because they realize that Jesus was mythology and wasn't a real person. So what? He's still teaching you lessons and wisdom. They're just using him as a metaphor, basically, for your damn true self at the end of the day. But yeah, you just got to get back to your vibration, people. We got to get back to the core of who we really are. You're looking for yourself in this life. You're looking for the feeling and the experience of who you really are. That's what you're looking for, whatever that may be. And that's why I talk about creating heaven on earth. And the thing is that people mistake um, what heaven is. Heaven is not some place, some physical place that you go to live the rest of your life. No, heaven is right here, right now. Heaven has always been here. You just got to open your eyes to see it. But also, heaven, everybody's heaven is different because heaven is the manifestation of your individual perfected reality. Meaning that if every human being on earth can manifest what their perfect individual reality is, their perfect life, what it looks like, what it feels like, what it is, then us as a collective will be living in heaven on earth because we'll each be living our own individual heavens. And if we're all living in heaven, we're all going to create an even larger heaven around us. But everybody's heaven is different because we don't all want the same thing. We don't all want a white picket fence in the American dream. I know that's not what I want. I want to create my own life that's tailor made toward me and for me with my preferences, with my ideals of what's perfect to me. It doesn't have to be what's perfect to you. It doesn't have to be what's perfect to the other person. That's what the age of Aquarius is about. Individuality, creating things for you, creating what works for you, for yourself. You may not agree with what the next person is doing, but if it works for you and if it makes you happy and fulfilled, then that's all that matters. And everybody should just worry about themselves and creating their perfected reality. And that's really what the age of Aquarius is about. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And please leave me your comments.